forgive me. If you're just coming on, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're coming in from. Good morning. Good morning. Barb Pitcock here, and you got to forgive me for this voice. We just finished an amazing month, and it finished very late last night. Most people would have said there's no way you're going to be able to get up in the morning and do No Guts, No Story, but here I am. So good morning, everyone. Where are you coming in from? If you would drop that in the chat, let me know if you're watching live. If you're watching live, please comment live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. And if you would do me a favor, you can go up to the top where you can either subscribe or follow. That way you'll get notified every single time I go live. So good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I see so many of my friends on here. So I'm going to try to help all of you today understand something that you might find yourself guilty of, where you keep repeating the same activity or you keep going back to the same thing that doesn't serve you, and you cannot figure out how you always get yourself into these situations. So one of the things that I have realized is that, when you look at someone that gets married, then gets divorced, maybe they're married to an alcoholic, they always go pick the same person. You look at someone who gets in business, they're in a business situation, certain things are a certain way, and then they find themselves in the same exact situation. And I've been studying a lot this month about your self-worth, and your self-worth is completely different than your self-confidence. And people will never keep more than what they think they're worthy of. And so yesterday, my little niece and nephew were in state wrestling, and I went there just to be the supportive aunt. Favorite sport. I think I already said that yesterday, but I love watching it because it's all about emotional mastery. It's all about that self-confidence that, I think it's 99% mental, and there is some skill involved, but mentally, if you think you're beat, you are. But I was watching them and I was just thinking back to times where there were kids when Dave was coaching that really were like, I'm not good at this. I'm never going to win. I could never be a state champion. And then there are other kids who are like, I am the best. I am the best. I'm going to dominate. And really, your self-confidence tells you, I can do this. But your self-worth says, I'm worthy of the recognition. I'm worthy of the medal. I'm worthy of the success. I'm worthy of the trip. I'm worthy of the love, the appreciation. Have you ever noticed certain people, you'll give them a compliment and they cannot take a compliment because they don't feel like they're worthy of that appreciation and love? And so how did that get that way anyway? And I have been digging so deep into this. I'm reading a book that I'm absolutely obsessed with. And some of you probably know the girl, some of you maybe don't, but she was literally arrested in a juvenile detention center, was not the best kid, and ended up selling her cosmetic company to L'Oreal for $9 billion, the largest CEO transaction like that ever. And I've been reading her book. It's on my dream list to have her speak at our next event. And the thing that I think about when I read her book is she's so authentic. Don't wait until your body looks good enough to wear the swimsuit. Just wear the swimsuit. Don't wait until you feel like you could fit in the crowd. Just get yourself in the crowd. She was in a room with Oprah and she had Oprah's phone number. And don't wait to call them and say, hey, can I take you to lunch because you don't feel worthy? Just make the phone call. And it's crazy because I was telling Dave, I'm really no different than any of you. And there's times where I'm like, I should make the phone call, put myself in the room, ask and you shall receive. But sometimes we hold back because we don't feel like we're worthy, or maybe we think we're bothering people, or maybe we have imposter syndrome and we compare ourselves to other people. And then we're like, oh, I could never have that or do that. So what I want to help you guys with today is just knowing that you will never attract or keep more ever in your life, in your relationship, in your bank account, even in sports, athletics. You will never have anything more than what you believe you are worthy of. So if you feel like you're not worthy of something, I have some little phrases that I want to read to you. Self-confidence is based on what we see ourselves on the outside. I look good. I'm skinny. I'm pretty. I have a cute outfit. I love my car, whatever. That's self-confidence. You confidently walk in the room or drive into the parking lot. But self-worth is what you really feel on the inside. And there's such a big difference, and people don't understand this, and they wonder why they keep sabotaging everything good that happens to them. Self-confidence is based on mastery, mastering a skill. I'm good at phone calls. I'm good at sales. I'm good at wrestling. I'm good at dance. I'm good at decorating. I'm really, really good at decorating a Christmas tree. Trust me, there is nobody that is better at home decor and making an ugly tree look absolutely like they should make me do the trees in the White House because I would be better. I am not self-confident when it comes to that. But my worth, would I be the one that would be, worthy of decorating that tree? That would be a different story. So I've been working on this, you guys. Like, how do you put yourself in the room? How do you really come up and you deserve the love, the recognition, the success? Because if you don't believe that you're worth something, you will sabotage it. And for me right now, leading a company that literally doubled our sales last month, leading a company that has the most amazing leaders in the world joining it. And I mean, in the world, like we're going all over the world right now. Sometimes I have to scratch my head and be like, how did I get to this point? And what I think you have to realize is self-confidence is what you can do. Self-worth is who you are. And I am that person that wants to make impact in the world. I am that person that wants to change the world and have something so much bigger in this life than just money. And you got to ask yourself, like, what is it that you feel like you're worthy of? So I have a book. I'm going to read some things to you guys today. And forgive me for my scratchy voice. I sound like Stevie Nicks. Self-confidence is what you show on the outside. Self-worth is what you feel on the inside. Self-confidence is based on mastery. Self-worth is based on your identity. Self-confidence is what you can do. Self-worth is who you really are. Self-confidence is believing that you're skilled enough, but self-worth is believing that you are enough. Self-confidence is fragile. Self-worth is foundational. Self-confidence is the belief in your abilities as a person. Self-worth is the belief in your value as a person. Self-confidence is I'm striving to earn love. Self-worth is knowing I am love. Self-confidence gives you your drive, but self-worth gives you peace. Self-confidence is optional. Sorry, guys. I might be sick, in denial. Self-worth is essential. Self-confidence eventually surrenders. Self-worth ultimately prevails. Self-worth is your foundation, who you are. And self-confidence is the house you build upon it. Your house will only ever be as secure as the foundation that it's built on. So the thing is, it really starts at the root. And there are a lot of people, they're not growing, they're not learning, they don't think they need to. They think they know everything. I've had so much success, I've made so much money, blah, 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 blah. And they keep trying to build based on their ego and their self-confidence. And they don't realize that it's all about the root. It starts at the root. And you got to ask yourself, would God bless that? Whatever you're doing, say, would God bless that? I say that every single day. And if he wouldn't, I'm not doing it. Every time you show up inauthentically and you're not yourself, you show up as the representative of something, not the person who is the core of something. You think you're going to make everybody else happy. You think you're going to, make them successful. You think you're going to fix their problem. I'm so good at that. I am so good at that. When we make other people happy and we don't do what is our own happiness, what happens is we don't show up as our true self. So you're doing what everyone else in the house wants. You're watching what everyone else wants to watch. You're talking about what everyone else wants to talk about. You're going to eat where everyone else wants to eat. I would always say, where do you guys want to eat? It didn't matter where I wanted to eat. I would ask where everybody else wanted to eat. If somebody was hungry and I still had food, I would be like, here, have mine, right? I always lowered myself to make everyone else in the room happy. And I don't do that anymore. I did up until now, let's say, up until now, I would strive to make everyone else happy. And I think this is my birthday month, right? I am a Pisces. I am authentic. I have a great intuition. I am full of compassion. I love people. I have a pretty good instinct. Like, I've rarely been wrong about people right when I meet them. But for some reason, I would always think that I could change them, or I would expect me in this person. Oh, they can get better. I can help them. No, 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 you can't, because it starts at the root. And the thing is, a snake is a snake. What do snakes do? They bite people. You have to understand that you're worthy of a better life. You're worthy of feeling loved and appreciated. You're worthy of having all of the things that you dream of. You're worthy of the recognition, feeling valued, feeling loved, feeling important, being celebrated. And the minute that you demand, I know who I am, I know my worth, I deserve this, money flows where energy goes. Love flows where energy goes. Success flows where energy goes. Some people are such a low vibration, and you don't want to get me on a vibration kick today, or I'll give you a whole sermon. But people need to change the way they see themselves and know they're worthy. So I'm going to tell you this. You are worthy of all the things you dream of. Your past and your setbacks have nothing to do with your future, other than every single thing that's happened in your life was divine. And I really do believe our steps are ordered. They're not just ordered. They were known before we ever stepped foot on this planet. And our setbacks are almost always the setups for the comeback. The victor, because you have been conditioned to win. So how would God really use you? And how would you really become of a lot of worth to society if you didn't have a story, if you didn't have a setback, if you didn't have things that you went through, if you didn't have something that you overcame? Like, that's your superpower. But people want to stay, so push it down, keep it quiet, don't let anybody know. It's crazy. The minute you step into authenticity, you're going to see how valuable you are to everyone around you. So a lot of times I think about, what is my next chapter? You guys might think this is stupid, but when you're 54, 55 years old, you start to think, like, my grandma died at 60. My oldest grandparent ever died at 70. I mean, I'm going to live to be 100 because I got this new, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but this reverse DNA repair clinical studies, literally reversing age. Dave and I went to a Night Ranger concert this week. There was nothing but old people everywhere. I swear we're not their age. There's no way I'm the age of the people that were at that concert. I was trying to not stare because I was like, we do not fit in this room. But your age is just a number. Your value and the way that you feel and how long you're going to live and how healthy you're going to be and what you deserve, and you can go and do and be and have anything you dream of, comes from your core beliefs. And you have to believe that you're worthy of that and that you can have that. You can break the mold. You don't have to be like everyone else in your family. They died at 60, they died at 70, they had cancer. There was tons of depression and suicide and anxiety and addiction and all kinds of trauma. You can flip the script. Like, that doesn't have to be your life, but it could be where your worth comes from, because you're bringing value with your experience. You're bringing value with your story. You're bringing value with what you overcame, and you can help so many other people overcome that. I was sitting next to a guy last night who didn't know me. He wanted to be chatty and my throat hurt. And I was like, I don't want to talk right now, but he wanted to talk. And he was like, yeah, these are my two girls. They married amazing men. They're both Christian men. They're so good. Their relationships are perfect. I'm so proud of them. He's just talking about himself. And he's like, it's crazy because all of our friends have kids struggling. Their kids are missing, or their kids are going through a divorce, or their kids are all on drugs, or they've been in jail. And he is just going on and on and on and on. And Dave's moving his chair a little bit further away. But this guy is like, I don't even know what I did, because he's like, I was a hard dad. I was hard on them. I was raising them like I wanted them to be girls or to be boys. He's like, I was really, really hard on them. But he's like, I'm so proud of my girls. And he's just talking about himself. And then he told me about his company. And then he told me about how successful that was. And the whole town of Wichita wants to buy it. And he could move to Salina because his son lives there and son-in-law. And that guy's really wealthy. And his grandpa owns thousands of acres. And like, I can tell you everything about this guy. But I want to tell you guys something. I didn't get his name. And I don't know who he was. But I know everything about him. What's attractive is when you look at the person next to you and you ask them about them. You don't have to talk about you, because people who know their worth and they're self-confident don't have to be validated by everything around them. I can sit next to someone on an airplane for 2 hours and they will never know anything until we're about to get off the plane. And I might give them a sample, or I might give them a book, or I might say, hey, let me grab your number. I want to send you a care package or something. But when you genuinely care about other people, you don't have to talk about yourself. And let me tell you this. I've sat in a room with a billionaire 3 times at the same table. And one of them I sit with often. Never in one conversation, ever did they say, I have billions of dollars. Even though they do, they did not say that. They don't have to, because they already have the confidence and they know their worth. So people with a low self-confidence, people who don't feel worthy, people who are very beat down, they got to tell you how good they are. They got to buy the car they can't afford. They got to move into the house that they should never move into. They got to wear the name brand stuff all over their Instagram. They got to have their boobs out, their butt out. Like, they got to do something to get you to like their comment, to like their post. And I'm not saying anything bad about y'all. I mean, some of you, that's what you do. I saw a guy this week washing his Lambo. I got to take the Lambo to get it washed. I had to find somewhere new to go get it washed. And I think that's great. But I wasn't impressed. Like, nobody gives a shit about your Lambo. I could buy 2 of them, but instead, I found a way that I could help people. It's my own beliefs, and nothing wrong with you if you all want to go get a Harley Davidson or whatever it is. But when you truly know your worth, and you're not threatened by other people's success, you don't have to show off your success. Now, there was a time when I was younger, I was that girl. I had a low self-confidence. I didn't believe in myself. I thought outside things would get me internal validation, and I was that girl. But I have grown a lot, and I want to help you grow. I want to help you attract success. I want to help you know that you're worthy of all the things that you dream of, and I want to show you what attracts people to you and what doesn't attract people to you. Our setbacks are almost always setups for us to have a comeback. So I want you to be thinking right now, what's bad in your life that makes you feel a low worth that could actually be your superpower? And I also want you to tell me, what is it that a lot of people might say is a bad quality of yours that could actually be your superpower? And mine was, I talked a lot. I always got in trouble for talking. I was always in trouble for talking, and I always skipped school because I hate rules, didn't want to be in a little school, in a little desk, with a little schedule when I was so creative and I could have so much accomplished by the time these people got out of school. Why would I need to sit in school till 3 o'clock? So when I think about that, look at my gifts, talking and being a creative entrepreneur, and then people trying to put a lid on that and put me in a box. Like, you were born with a gift that you need to go take and say, I am so worthy of accomplishing so much. And I had to learn this lesson. Outside validation does not equate to real love. It doesn't. So you're going to get the new car. You're going to move into the new house. You're going to achieve the rank. You're going to buy the Rolex. You're going to get the Louis Vuitton, whatever. And then all of a sudden, The newness wears off. You have buyer's remorse. You wonder why you put yourself in this situation, and you did it just to get that dopamine hit of like, I am somebody. You are enough just like you are. I'm a garage sale girl. I love a good sale. I like to thrift. I like vintage stuff sometimes. Like, I like a nice new suit, but I'm telling you guys, I know my worth and I don't need a $4,000 suit to feel good. I wore a hand-me-down to our convention last month, and I felt so good in it because of the woman that gave it to me and what she stood for. And I want to give you guys a couple of tips. Live below your means, pay cash. Live below your means, pay cash. Quit trying to do all the things to impress all the people that don't care anyway, and you don't like them, and you're trying to impress them. Stop the nonsense. Get rid of all the stuff that you cannot afford. Pay everything off. Cut up the credit card. Live below your means and know your worth. I will be debt-free. I will have and be and do all the things that I dream of. Their outside love does not have anything to do with my inside worth. I am enough. I want you guys to repeat that. I am enough. I can have and be and do anything that I dream of. And I had to learn that lesson many times in my life, right? Because external validation feels so good, but it doesn't fill your soul. It absolutely doesn't fill your soul. And I think back to where Dave and I came from. We were driving home last night. We had a long drive, about 3 hours to Wichita, Kansas. And it was end of the month. And I was shouting out all the people that were hitting new ranks. And I was messaging them. And I was just looking at people. And I was like, they look so different. They look so good. They're doing so well. They're so healthy. They look so happy. Like, I am so proud of these people. And where you're at in your story right now, in your story, matters so much less than the person that you're becoming in it. This is what I text my little nephew yesterday. So they're not twins, but they're so close in age. And Kinsey has the longest legs. She's got legs for days. She can dance. She can run track. Like, this girl is amazing. Trey is one of the best race car drivers in the entire Midwest. And so is his daddy and my other brother. So Trey has his skills. Kinsey has hers. But Trey got beat yesterday in his first match. And then he had to win his way up all the way up the back. And Kinsey, I couldn't even get the camera on quick enough. Like, she pinned that girl in 20 seconds. And it's hard being her brother, right? Because she's the best. And I was talking to him and I said, you know, I sent them a long mushy text last night because that's what Aunt Barb does. And I said, your success on the mat has nothing to do with your future and your life. But it does have a lot to do with the person that you're becoming. And I want you guys to think about what you're going through. I was texting with my friend Amber late last night, and we were talking about a mutual friend, Amy. Amy's probably watching right now. And Amy was always number one on the leaderboard. Always. Nobody could beat this girl. And even when I wasn't in the company with Amy and I was taking my 2-year sabbatical, I would still be shouting out Amy, like, look at you go, you're amazing. And then a whole bunch of things happened. This cat, come on, Lily. I know you're 20, but like, go take a nap. She's so needy and so loud. Amy has had a lot of things happen, my friend Amy, in her life. And we were on a journey together. We were on a journey together because both of our daughters were struggling. And I was thinking about everything Amy has been through. And I was thinking about everything Amy is worthy of, but how Amy feels when Amy looks at Amy. And, you know, sometimes we have setbacks in our life. Someone has an accident, a child gets in trouble, someone dies, you have a past. Maybe you've been through something with a previous relationship. Maybe you're fighting a health battle right now. Maybe it's you max out all your credit cards and nobody knows that you're like up to here in debt. Maybe you did something at work and you got written up or fired. Like, there's so many things that people don't know that other people are going through a silent struggle. And Amy and I were both going through a silent struggle. Like nobody knew, but we would call each other. Sometimes I was working so hard. The only time I would have time to even call her would be like 11 o'clock. And I would be in the bathtub like, hey, we haven't talked today, but it's 11 o'clock and I'm in the bathtub. And we would cry and we would pray and we would plead, like pleading the blood of Jesus over our daughters. And it's crazy because you never know how journeys are going to turn out, right? You never know how journeys are going to turn out. You literally have to surrender things and know that no matter what everyone else around you does, that you are enough. You are amazing. You are worthy. You are deserving. You are highly favored from a championship bloodline. Doesn't matter who your parents are. Doesn't matter your biological mom or dad, or if they approve of the way you lived your life, or if they don't, your aunts, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters. You don't need anyone else to clap for you because you are already enough. And I think a lot of times we get this beat down feeling that I have a friend that called me this past month and she's a legend in the industry. And she said, I think I'm just a was-been. I think I just was been, a has been. It was a has been. That's what she said. And I said, you are absolutely not a has been. But she was feeling lower than she used to feel and like she wasn't worthy of success. Like maybe those were the glory days and I just don't have it in me anymore. And I sent her this book. I sent everybody this book. I sent like 12 copies of this book in a day. If you have not read this book, it will literally change your life. And I don't even know this woman, but like her book is amazing. Her book is amazing. When you are right now in your story, where you are right now in your story matters so much less than the person that you're becoming in it. So I want to tell you guys something. I would not have Frequence doubling in size, going global, opening in all these other countries. I would not have it had I not had the nights crying myself to sleep, sitting in the bathtub, calling my friend Amy to pray, asking God for guidance and direction. I wouldn't have the story. Do you know what I think about every single day? Who is suffering in silence? Who is that mom out there? How are you doing emotionally right now? Let's ask that. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at emotionally right now? Because I can be completely authentic with you. 2 years ago, I was a 1 out of 10. Sometimes I was a negative 10. I did not feel the self-confidence that I could do anything at that time except pray and surrender everything to God. And where I'm at today has everything to do with the setbacks, the challenges, the experiences, the pain, the sorrow, the struggle, the battle, the sad, the hurt, the grief, the fear, all the things. Where I'm at today is 100% from the conditioning, the pressure that creates the diamond, the fire that heats the brand. That's why you're in the part that you're in. And so I want to ask you a question. If you could take everything that you've been through and you could make that your brand, how you're going to come up and make impact, and you were sitting with someone and you asked them, where are you from? How many kids do you have? Tell me about yourself. What do you do? Where do you live? What brings you here today? Are you on this plane for business or pleasure? And you asked all about them. And then they said to you, what do you do? What would you say in one sentence? What would you say in one sentence? What do you do? Because I know what I would say. I make impact and I help people feel good now. I make impact and I help people feel good now. I even got the little hat. How you guys like my new hat? It says, feel good now. Can't wear my glasses and my hat at the same time, but feel good now. That is my new message to everybody. Feel good now. And how do you feel good now? You become like the people that you hang around all the time. So when Dave and I were driving home last night, he wanted to go on a date. It was the last day of the month. So I'm like, we can't go on a date. It's the last day of the month. Like, it's going to be crazy. But he got reservations to go eat dinner because I'd been with grandkids all week. And we were sitting there eating and we were talking. And we were talking about this music that was playing in this really nice restaurant. And it was Frankie. It was Frank Sinatra. And I said to Dave, do you remember when we were like 23 and we got invited to go on that yacht with all those wealthy people in our company? We literally felt so stupid being on the yacht. Like, we do not fit in here. What are we doing here? Oh my gosh, how do we get off this boat and go home? And we were out of our comfort zone because we didn't feel worthy of being on the boat. We literally were like, we are nothing like these people. I don't even know how we got invited on the boat, except we did a lot in sales and we hit a rank and then we got invited on the boat. But by the time we got off the boat, we didn't want to leave the boat because we loved the way those people made us feel. And the secret here is not how successful you are, not how much money you have, not how much clout you have, not what you're wearing, not what you've accomplished. It's how you make people feel. And when you make people feel good, you attract people. When you make people feel loved and celebrated and valued, you attract people. They don't ever want to leave you because your energy is so good, and energy matches energy. So when you feel like shit and you talk about shitty things and you gossip and you complain and you hate the government and it's all a conspiracy and the whole world sucks and it's going to hell in a handbasket, nobody wants to be around you, because that's not God. That is not love. That is not attractive. I agree. There are a lot of really messed up things in America, and I'm literally mind blown. I'm not even watching the news. I know they will figure it out. They don't need me to figure it out. They're obviously figuring it out. But it's so hurtful to so many people. And you can either be right or you can be rich, but you're never going to be both. When you have to be right, let's say you're having troubles. Oh, look, I just got balloons. You're having troubles and you go to a therapist with your partner, but you got to be right all the time because you know everything. That's not therapy. That's you having to be right all the time. Like, you have a right to your own opinion, but you have a right to be wrong because I'm right. You better get your shit straight, blah, 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 blah. Guys, I love people, but I hate mean people. Mean people suck. I don't know why people got to be so mean when they have no idea what people are going through. They have no idea what people are going through. Like, someone just got fired, can't pay their mortgage. It's the first of the month. They're struggling in a custody battle. They don't have their kids. They literally want to end their life. And you got to go throw up on them how the stupid Tesla they're driving is going to ruin the whole world. Who cares what they're driving, right? Like, I'm not pro Tesla or not Tesla because nobody out here in the Midwest has a Tesla. But what they drive and what they do has nothing to do with me, my business, my future, and the impact that I'm going to make on this world. So I personally don't like a Tesla. Both my kids had one. They both had them on Turo. They made tens of thousands of dollars renting their car because everybody wanted to rent one. They're not a bad person because they had one. They both sold them because they were a pain in the butt. It's just hard to keep them all charged all the time. But at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We are all trying to survive. And none of us are getting out of here alive. None of us are getting out of here alive. We are all going to die here, right? So while we're here and we're all struggling to win, to feel loved, to feel valued, to feel served, to feel important, to be able to contribute, to feel significant, to feel a little bit of certainty about our future, what if every single person could just be kind? What if you could just be kind and not be so mean to everyone that wasn't like you? What if you could be the light that made other people say, I want to be like her. I want to believe like her. I want to love like her. I want to help people like her. I want to make impact like her. I want to be around her because when I'm around her, I just feel better. You guys, that's the secret to success. It's not your product. It doesn't have anything to do with your pay plan. It doesn't have anything to do with your company and how long you've been there and how much money they have. People want to go where they feel good, and people are going to stay where they feel good. And that means inclusivity. That means all love all the time. That means no bullies allowed. That means no drama. That means no gossip. That means you clap for other people when they win, even if you're struggling, because your day is coming. And that's when you know you have your own self-worth. My day is coming. I'm going to make it. I know I am enough. I can be and do and have anything I dream of. I'm not threatened by that lady's success, because just like oxygen, there's enough money to go around for everybody. I'm happy for my friend that's making $1 million a month in network marketing, because do you know what? It validates that it can happen. I'm not jealous. I'm not envious. I'm not hating on her because she did it a different way. I just know we all play a part in the long-term success of the human race. I believe we all play a part in the growth and the healing of the human race. And it's my opinion that we can really, really, really make impact when we're all love and we're authentic. Authenticity is the highest vibration that you can ever have. And every single day, it's my own goal to be completely authentic, to be all love, to never judge, to not gossip, to not hate, to not bully, and to try and help people forgive. Try and help people surrender. Try and help people take the high road. At the Night Ranger concert this week, they sang the song High Road. And it's so old. I'm like, how do I even remember the words to this song? I think I was 12. But he said, in business, it's always better to take the high road. Sometimes you could argue your side, you could tell your side, you could have your whole defense lined up. But at the end of the day, it's better to take the high road, because in the end, people will see who you are. I'm not saying let people walk all over you. I'm not saying let people abuse you. But nobody really ever wins an argument. They just argue, and it's draining. And when they do it on social media, it's really draining. So do this week. Allow people to be how they are. Practice the art of allowing. And there's your business, and then there's God's business, and then there's not your business. So if it's not your business, don't get in the conversation. If it's your business, take care of it. And if it's something that you will never understand, it just doesn't make sense to me why the system is so messed up, that's God's business. That's not mine. That's God's business. And I will tell you, He knows the way. He knows the way. And nothing will ever break something that God built. We just have to keep Him first. We have to search deep within, because God is within each and every one of us. It's not that I'm right and you're wrong and that you need to believe my way. You know what you believe. I know what I believe, but nobody will ever change what I believe, because I have so much conviction and proof of what He has done in my life. And I want to be that light. I want to help other people believe, have faith, surrender, feel all love, know they're forgiven, know that the future is bright, know that nobody cares about their past. Nobody was ever keeping score. It's all washed away. It's all done. It's finished. It's clean. It's a clean slate. Tabula rasa. It's just straightforward ahead. And you don't need anybody to clap. No matter how hard you dance, some of them are never going to clap. But I will, because I know you and I believe in you, and you are enough, and you will succeed, and you will do and be and have anything you ever dream of. The minute, write this down, the minute you know you're worthy of it, it is yours. And until you feel worthy of it, you will build it and it will go away. And you will work hard and you won't hit the mark. And you'll have people right there ready to do the deal, and they will ghost you. And you will hit a rank and you will lose a rank. And you will buy a house and you will have to move out of that house. And you will meet someone great and think it's the person of your dreams, and the whole relationship will fall apart. Because until you know your worth, you cannot keep something that you don't feel you're worthy of. So I'm here to tell you, you are worthy. Believe you're enough, and it will completely transform your life. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you next Saturday on No Guts, No Story. Shout out to me for making it through this whole live with a voice I didn't think would make it, and I didn't even cough one time. But you know what? I'm not giving it any power. I am not sick. I do not feel bad. I will not get the crud that everyone else had. I am taking my minerals. Do you guys know I learned a little hack? Let me show you something really quick. How many of you buy this expensive alkaline water? I'm going to give you a little tip. Alkaline water, it's like $5, $6, $7 a bottle. Last night we were driving home. I had to buy it because I didn't have my drops. But I have these little drops that you can literally, they're 22 pH. You can put them in any water, just like that. And you have 9.5 to 11 water every single day, even if you're at Dollar General. So like, that's kind of a no freaking brainer. You just put the minerals in your water, stir it up, and then I have this anti-aging straw because my lips have little rivers above them and I don't want to look any older than I am. Sipping and slaying all day long. I'm telling you guys, if you're not on the sipping and slaying train, if you don't know about Rising and Vibing, you're leaving money on the table because the whole world is learning about frequency on nutrition. The whole world is trying to reverse their age, and I found a way you can do it without the needles. It's amazing. You just take 2 capsules, it has clinical studies, DNA repair in a clinical study, repairs DNA, extends your telomeres, unfreaking believable. Such a good price. And between my minerals and my frequency tuned straw and these 2 little capsules, I'm telling you guys, I'm not ever going to look as old as the people at that Night Ranger concert, ever. I told Dave, I love an old 80s band. You guys, would you just agree? Music is not like it was in the 80s. I don't care who you are. We had the best music ever. Dave and I were laughing because there was Foreigner 4 and there was Night Ranger and there was Bon Jovi and so many good hair bands. And my hair was like out to here. But I was looking at Dave Less and I was like, this is crazy. Like there's a bunch of old people listening to these 80 bands. And Dave said, everybody's our age. We're just refusing to age, right? So I'm telling you guys, I got the secret right here. If you want the deets, all you got to do is message me and I can get you some. But I hope you have an amazing Saturday. Know your worth. Stand up for yourself. Raise the bar. Say, I am enough. I can be, I can do, I can have anything I dream of. And when someone tries to treat you less than, you got to set a boundary. Not today, Satan. Not today, whoever it is. Because you are worth more. And if you keep letting people treat you that way, nobody can make you feel inferior except yourself. That's a hard thing to learn. If you're feeling inferior, it's you, it's not them. And you're the one that has to stop the process. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next week. Bye now.